Awesome. Yeah, man, like super excited. It's gonna be a massive season, I think, and big step forward with for Cambria. So before diving too much into specifics of season three, I do want to kind of like zoom out for a second, kind of talk about the bigger picture. So yeah, like I think every season of Cambria is kind of a big moment, right? It's not just like a content update. It's a chance for us to onboard new players, like refine the risk earn model, evolve economy, a bunch of other things, basically based on what we learned right in the last season. I think Cambria at this point is pretty much the most advanced risk earn MO like game in the world. I don't think that's a stretch to say, and that's pretty much entirely because the community has been willing to exploit systems to the limit, right? Break all of our assumptions, right? Give really good feedback, ideas, that sort of thing. And the game you see today is, just the result of, hundreds, thousands of iterations, like a lot of play tests, and just, close to more than a year of basically tuning. So yeah, I mean, like every bug found, like all of this adds up. So really appreciate everyone who's doing that. Contributing to the playtest, like contributing to bug reports. I know sometimes like reporting bugs is not like plus EV, right? Versus just exploiting it. So yeah, really appreciate that. And yeah, I think we're also still early. I mean, what we're building here is once you get the fundamentals down, like it's scalable, right? I think the long term vision for seasons is where like millions of players are competing for prize pools, that just make esports look tiny, right? Like if we can crack that, like there's a huge amount of design challenges to make this work. But yeah, I mean, if we crack the code, like 100 million, like even 1 billion prize pool seasons, are completely realistic. So yeah, I think improving on basically the existing return engine, liquidity model, gameplay loops. Yeah, once they hit their stride, I think we're in a good place. So yeah, I think in terms of big updates since season two, a lot of our core goals were really to fix the major issues that emerged in season two. A lot of it also around like removing like free upside with no risk. I mean, that's basically like what we try to do with all updates, right? Like we want kind of the risk to reward sort of balance to be perfect. There's just so many things you can do right now in games, so it makes it really tricky because there's skilling like PVM, PvP, like the fucking paymaster guild. It's like balancing all of this, especially given a shared prize pool, is just extremely difficult. So yeah, we just are trying to make tweaks towards that. And yeah, like I think we want to make also progression, combat, the economy more fair, predictable, and kind of like build these systems that allow us to scale. Because in season four beyond, like we're really going for like Web two pushes, like onboarding big RuneScape streamers, like kind of like going for actual sort of Web two adoption. So the game basically has to be ready before we get to that point. So yeah, I think big changes like TLD are at a high level. There's we did a big networking rework. So basically, no more map hacking. We have a radius of vision now that's sort of enforced server side. That basically is kind of line of sight, right? Vision. This basically involves rewriting huge parts of our networking stack. Previously, we were just broadcasting all state like across the entire map to all players. There's a ton of issues around the RFID stuff. Some of which we're still running into. So hopefully that gets cleared. Before the season three. Hopefully. So yeah, I mean, thanks everyone who helped us out. Like some of it is hard to replicate without real network conditions. So appreciate you. So yeah, I mean, multi wallet support was also the big thing. Web two flow, Web three flow, HEW, Ronin, fucking abstract sessions, right? they're all supported, right? We have a new deposit withdrawal flow that kind of unlocks that mass market sort of deposit capability directly from centralized exchanges. So you can just send ETH or whatever it is like into the game. This will become more of a thing, with the mass market adoption. Kind of once we hit non-crypto natives. But yeah, it just makes onboarding kind of dramatically easier. We did a major kind of map rework, kind of reworked how the map and the future zones of the map are going to work, which involve a bunch of travel planner updates, position bounds, bumping tiers, rebalancing these NPCs, right? But yeah, I think where we're going with a continent currently is in a good place. Like by the time it's fully fleshed out, you're gonna have 5 or 6 zones across like T3 to T5 to T6. Yeah, it's going to be pretty well balanced. The other big thing we did was combat rework. So right now, basically, it's a snapshot based attack instead of being dynamically calculated. So previously, you could like shoot an arrow, change gear right after the attack went out, and the damage would be based on your current gear. So yeah, I mean that created a huge potential edge for scripting, like But yeah, I mean that was a huge rework. Thanks to Kai who kind of put in all that work. Yeah, it also broke a huge amount of combat. So appreciate you guys for testing it. I think we fixed most of the issues there. So good to see. There should also be kind of major front end performance updates, right? Especially on Windows, should be much smoother to play now. The only remaining kind of big issue is the graphics crash, which yeah, I mean just because of memory, because of a variety of devices, like it's really hard for us to debug sometimes. We're still working on it. Definitely some more optimizations needed there, but yeah. Let me see what else. Yeah, I mean, like in general, like as well, like slower progression and kind of like slightly increased difficulty. Like, someone with bad gear like should die to like T5 mobs, right? Especially early. Like I think last season, basically, a couple hours in, people were at endgame. Um, and yeah, that's just not something that works for the seasons. So yeah, I mean, the world should feel more dangerous. Like the gear specialization you use should matter more. Like we're trying to return to the risk fantasy of Cambria, if you will. Um, like kind of pairing with that, right? You have the skilling specialization as well, right? So we removed XP lamps. There's no more crafted item drops by mobs. So like all of that has to funnel through skilling now. Hopefully, with skilling, if you specialize into one skill, like you should be able to profit off of that. So we'll be excited to see how that plays out during the season. Um, yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Besides that, just killing off other season two loopholes with just basically where you're gaining without risking, like fishing. That region is now T3, right? So we want to make fishing high risk and high reward. So definitely improving the fishing yield from existing fishing that wasn't in for the playtest, but yeah, we'll try to get that in for the season. Remove the armor from fishers, so you can straight up kill them. Enhance the stealing mechanic. We also capped XP gain at level 60 for no energy mobs, so you can just like level up your magic past 60 or range past 60 on cows. Increase feeding fees for the trading post. A lot of people ate really well last season just doing that. We want to preserve that gameplay, but obviously with cost, so people are like considering what to do. Making kind of informed decisions there. The other big thing was like balancing like solo versus Zerg. This again, is just a classic design problem for MMOs. So a couple new features that we've added. So number one is focus fire similar to Albion. So basically you gain damage resist the more players are hitting you actively. You get like a stack, right, that kind of drops off. This also applies to PVM. So mob HP also increases the more players are attacking it. Reward scaling as well. We also changed a lot of the static bosses, or all of the static bosses. For example, Velmora, Malkrol, to basically non-artifact loot. So they basically drop unique kind of niche drops. We moved some of the other bosses as well to dynamic spawns. So, for example, the Butcher, Elite, Shadow Soul Cannibal, they're no longer in a fixed place. They kind of sometimes randomly spawn, and if you run across from them, they are very good artifact-wise. So it's kind of like, do you want to take the challenge or not, right? Same thing with the Rune Dungeons, Rune Dungeon entrances. Like a lot of that was the same thing. We also have like the reduced PvP drop yield, the more killers there are. Like we put in a bunch of mechanics to prevent world hopping ambushes because those were just quite dumb. There's new heat zones now. So basically in high heat zones near the wilderness hideout and Dreadfort, there's a lot of it's basically high heat, right? So if you have high heat, basically there's less of the anti-group penalties. So anti-group includes like roaming threats like Trog, stress, kind of AoE stress scaling. So yeah, I mean the solo farming areas, yeah, it would just be a lot more difficult for kind of groups of players to be profitable there. So yeah, we're hoping that kind of like balances out. Yeah, group, like our goal really is to get groups to compete with other groups, right? And then kind of like
Yep.
solo players to compete with other solo players. Again, we'll be actively tweaking that over the season, but we'll see how that plays out. Um, yeah, I mean, a bunch of other things. Like we have our ROI calculator now that wasn't in for the playtest, but should be in for the season. Basically, when you cash in, you can see exactly like how much silver value did I take out on this expedition? How much am I cashing in, right? Am I profitable or not? Because like a big thing last season was like people were going extremely unprofitable runs. And they were, kind of surprised at the end of the season when they, lost money. So I think forcing players to realize their losses earlier, kind of through this visual display, that's definitely a big thing. Yeah, in terms of other like new content, like we have World Chess, like Dynamic Spawns that's coming. We have new roaming threats like the Bonebreaker Trog, Hunter, White, couple more things. The marks that you can trade, that you get from the ruined dungeons, booze, all sorts of things. But yeah, I'm going on too long now. Key mechanics I think you should know that we added. So player scouting, you can right click and select scout on players, or just hold Alt and hover over them. Basically, you can see the current value of their gear and their artifacts to kind of like gauge like are they actually a legit, a profitable target, right? You can see stress, you can see their reward index, you can see their marks equipped. So it should be a better way to basically target. Um, and then, yeah, in terms of updates soon to drop, like we have the new region that, we'll see if we can get it in before the end of the season. We have new weapons like the Vampiric Heavy Expo, Aether Family of Magic, one-time kind of destructible weapons. We also have things like region of boosts and kind of like some live op stuff that Logic is going to manage, kind of world boss sort of events. So, yeah, I mean, lots of changes there. Maybe I'll stop there. Were there any
Yeah.
like
No, it's a
immediate
lot.
things? I do want to go into like guild changes as well, but
Yes, yes, yes. I think like I was taking some like notes for people that were kind of maybe these are some of the things they were curious about. So like we talked about combat rework, map rework, the EXP gain kind of being more slower paced. And especially no gaining without risking, right? Like fishing in
yeah,
like a yellow zone. Also, guys,
yeah,
Ben did talk about, solo versus Zergs, right? Having damage reduction based on amount of players hitting, both in PvP and PvE. And then dynamic spawn bosses, PvP new mechanics, heat zones, ROI calculator, marks boosts, scouts option, and new weapons. So it's a lot. If you guys have any questions regarding that, definitely put it in the chat so we can maybe dive deeper into
Some
it.
guy asked why you dropping this 2 days before the start of the season.
Yeah, yeah. So
welcome to Canada.
so Alchemist is he's quite upset about this. And I think it's regarding guilds, right? There's some people that definitely agree with the guild changes, and there's definitely some people that are very unhappy and uh, emotionally charged. So maybe this is a topic we can dive deep into.
Yeah,
Specifically, the tax for the top guild. Why I think it's like based on the timeline, they're like it's literally about to start. Why are you dropping it now? Um,
yeah,
and yeah, all that stuff. So it's that big copy pasta kind of going around in the stage chat right now.
yeah. Yeah, so for the first thing is the main or the max you can give the guilds is 80%, right? So it's like a 20-80 split, right? I'm pretty sure if it's not that case, like yeah, we need to fix that. So yeah, it's definitely not 95% or whatever's going on there. But yeah, yeah, I mean, I think guild changes wise, like how do I put this? Um, over the past, kind of few seasons, we've kind of seen how powerful like I guess organization can be, right? When it comes to like farming favor. And by extension kind of gaining a big share of the price pool. So yeah, I mean like guilds have, kind of always been a core part of Cambria, like, you're recruiting players, you train new players, you build communities, right? It's really good stuff, right? But I think as the game grows, like we just need to make sure that solo players and casual players stay competitive with guilds, especially in a game where real money is on the line. I think the big thing was like, basically what was going to happen in season three was, the top guilds with 0% paymaster tax were all kind of solo players, right? Like 200 really good solo players, right? And basically, if you're coming into the game, right, and playing, and you're deciding whether or not to buy more energy, right? The fact that you're already losing 13% just straight up, right, to another solo player who, their only risk is like they're just joining a guild, right? Like there's no risk there. That was a big problem, right? Like, we just didn't think that was a realistic thing for, an average player to do. And really, like with a lot of the expeditions, it's kind of like a degen loop, right? You're risking energy, right? You're coming back with the rewards, right? And you're cashing that in. So like if the RTP there, like if the ROI does not work out, like people are just not going to do it. And I think that, I mean, that like having like better balance, like benefits everyone, right? Like the more people buy energy, right? Price pool grows, kind of the game goes bigger, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think like kind of patching some of those kind of exploits is good for everyone, right? If we don't correct the curves early, the game kind of like just collapses into small number of these like hyper optimized groups that are just dominating the price pool. Everyone just disengages, right? Great for those groups, but bad for everyone else. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to guild balance, I basically think of it in kind of like two parts, right? You have like the scholars and you have the self-funded guild members, right? So the scholar model is really why guilds exist. That's the only reason guilds exist, right? It's a way for guild leaders and sponsors to kind of deploy activity to the game at scale, kind of like compete for the rewards between themselves. It's guilds are the best way to earn royal favor at scale, and at the top, it's the most profitable way to risk ETH, right, for top guild leaders and sponsors. So yeah, I mean, like when it comes to top earners, like we're always trying to figure out like, hey, who like out of these top players, right, who deserves to earn it the most, right? You have top players solo, you have like top guilds that are scholar based, you have top paymasters. I think all of these contribute to the ecosystem. Like, top players because of the skill expression, because of the stories of like profit. Top guilds because they're recruiting, active management gameplay, and sort of like paymasters as like liquidity providers for the pool. But yeah, I mean, like self-funded guild members, it just doesn't fit this model. Like these groups of self-funded players that just join a guild purely to get the 0 to whatever percent reduced tax, didn't share any meaningful portion of rewards with the guild leader. Like there's just no real risk, right? Yeah, I mean, like, so on the guild side, right, like with guild scholars, like the reason that reduced paymaster tax exists is because they are risking the fact that they are losing like 20% or more, right, to the scholar, right? So they're already kind of at a net loss. So, kind of like that was to mitigate that. So like the fact that you could have a solo player driven guild, like that actually competed with the actual guilds with scholars, with their ROI, kind of like making it a net sort of bad loop, right? So basically, yeah, I mean, like what we change is like pretty simple, right? So the guild ranking that determines the tax, it now scales on how much royal favor a player actually splits to the guild. So like if a player earns 100 royal favor but only splits 5%, then only five royal favor contributes to the guild ranking, which means guild ranking is now kind of reflects real risk and like being able to coordinate like scholars, right? Solo players, definitely can still join guilds, but not really to exploit tax advantages, right? They either have to like if they want full access, they need to like split more. They need to essentially become a charter, or they can just purchase their own charter, right? Kind of like go outside the guild, which I think is not good for the price pool. So yeah, I think with guilds, like kind of brings them back to their original identity, and less of this kind of like free upside. So yeah, I mean the difficulty is kind of like the remaining balance work, right? We don't want to completely kill off guilds sponsoring partial sort of risk, right? For example, like they purchase a charter, but like not energy orbs. The guild sponsors energy, right? So the current solution is just probably cap the contribution of the guild split. So like maybe something lower than the current max, like 70%, 60%, 50%, who knows, right? But we also don't want like guilds that are just like 100% to the guild leader, right? They're like paid like on the side separately, right? We also don't want that. So yeah, I mean, like with self-funded players, like I think guilds just have to be smarter, right? About like which self-funded player to bring on, right? Is their lower contribution to the ranking worth their increased skill, like whatever it is, right? I think that's an interesting sort of risk reward dynamic, right? And yeah, I mean for self-funded players, like we definitely still want kind of groups of players, like guilds, if you will, but kind of more informal, more like clans or parties, right? So we're definitely group PVM with loot share. Like we kind of changed the loot system right now to kind of have an early hacky V1 of this. We want more community structure, like you to be able to just join a clan or party with your friends, like social kind of coordination, right? Group chess, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, all this said, like, yeah, definitely apologize for dropping this so late. Like, after, I'm sure people have coordinated to take advantage of this. Basically, didn't intend to do a bait and switch here. Like, it's just been slow for us to find an actual solution to this. Like, you can imagine, like, it's quite a tricky problem. To be fair, like, we have signaled multiple times that this type of playstyle is not what we intended guilds to be. So it is an exploit that we're patching. But yeah, definitely want to try to minimize, big changes or, you know, definitely, yeah. I wish we had more lead time on this. I think with this season, we're also not trying to change too many systems mid-season. I think the more mature the game is, the bigger the prize pool gets. We just need to keep patches predictable, as to not disrupt risk that's, kind of like already locked in. So yeah, definitely a goal of ours and something I think you'll see this season. Unless there's some major imbalance that we have to address, we'll try to just keep it running.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing. I hope that was able to Ben was able to answer you guys' question on guilds there, and yeah, like I think it like this is to Alchemist specifically. Yeah, unfortunately, we sent it in 2 days before season starts. We apologize on that end, and yeah, it's definitely a tricky problem. Sure. All we can say is we appreciate you guys for understanding also on us trying to solve these issues and problems and different game mechanics. And yeah, we will make sure to be better.
Cool. Any questions so far? I think yeah, I mean, let me look at my notes. Yeah, I think post season 3, like definitely working on a Gold Rush kind of 24/7 version that we can kind of massively scale out to retail. I think seasons are still a little bit niche, right? A little bit kind of grind heavy, which is a lot of the draw, right? But you kind of also need that mass player base. A lot of people buy in, kind of to feed the actual edge for some of the players. So yeah, I mean, Gold Rush seasons are still going to be the main thing, right? Main driver attention. But 24/7 is going to be the driver of volume. So yeah, definitely looking to scale out both the seasons growth wise, prize pool wise, emergent narratives wise, like cool shit happening in game wise. But yeah, definitely the current goal. But yeah, open it up to the floor. Any other questions about mechanics, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so True Prav is asking, is there any benefit for solo self-funded players to join guilds?
Yeah, I think with the guild, there's a lot of things you kind of get with a guild, right? Like number one is coordination, like especially with the guild chest, like especially in the first day, right? You can have somebody kind of just farm fish, right? Feed the rest of the guild, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'd say like if you're purely self-funded, no, the guilds are not designed for you. You should be playing solo, or you can also team up with players and just not be in a guild, right? You guys could go group gank, someone, or group farm some content. Like you don't need the guild. Like the guild mechanics are kind of not built for you, right? But yeah, that's TLDR.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to go through the stage as well. Trying to grab some questions here. So I think Yone is asking about island stuff. I think island stuff is not in currently, right, Ben? It'll be for future seasons and future
Yeah,
gameplay.
so for season 3, we have the multipliers based on land. We might be able to ship out a V1 of the the islands, the main island, and maybe just like similar to the syndicate hideout. Kind of have it just be a small hideout for players. But yeah, we'll see how we go there.
one I saw
Yeah, the
popular a
multipliers
while ago.
are always a little controversial. Like we have to balance kind of players kind of spending money on the season versus kind of growing value to NFTs. Yeah, I mean I haven't taken a look at the multipliers since we started, but yeah, we'll do another pass. Gio, I cut you off. What were you saying?
Think you might have been talking about what I was going to ask. Yeah, someone asked earlier, did you fix the reset in multiplier if you get disconnected, either through graphics crash or through?
I think that was fixed last season. I think they're talking about like the stress and the reward index.
Yeah, and it all persists properly, right? I for some reason I don't know why they're asking that. I thought it worked too, but
We'll
they
test them
asked in
again.
such a
We'll test,
convincing way.
yeah, yeah. I think yeah, we should definitely put that on the QA list.
Should work fine. We'll test it tomorrow. There you go.
Great.
Yeah, I think someone so Kai responded to this about strongholds. And I guess this is something that Zrai.eth asked. He's essentially just curious about strongholds and forts, and is that sort of gameplay something we're looking to do, possibly this season or next season, or what's our overall thought process on that?
Yeah, so the strongholds is basically the Crownlands sort of gameplay, right? EVE Online, kind of guild centric, sovereignty sort of control, right? Taking over cities or having like cities be like basically ruled by like guilds voting, the top guilds voting on who wants to be king, that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean like that's actually where Canberra started. We have a ton of code and kind of like a lot of stuff built out for that. I think it's like it's pretty like 30-40% like close to ready as like a separate sort of game mode. But yeah, we'd have to flesh that out a bit. So yeah, we'll see. Like once Gold Rush kind of takes off, we have the 24/7 Gold Rush, and as well as seasons. I think the Crownlands is a pretty easy pivot. There's a lot of like really cool like kind of guild versus guild over kind of direct resources where it's not like 3-3. It's like not like the guilds are like just collabing to farm some other group. Yeah, I think that sort of like guild versus guild PvP is super exciting. So soon Bria.
Soon Bria. Yeah, I think that's super exciting too in terms of guild stuff. I think maybe I mean the same stuff's getting spanned with like guild stuff. And maybe it's because people are traditionally thinking that guilds is like, aside from the Web3 scholarship model, guilds in Web2 are pretty much like groups of friends, right? That end up forming a clan or a guild together, and guild ended up, traditionally becoming just a group of friends, right? They invite more groups of friends or more friends, and they become this like bigger entity. So maybe that's kind of something that may not be understood well based on like Web3 guild system versus like Web2 traditional game
Yeah.
guild systems.
I mean, like what it comes down to it, like the fact that there's money, a lot of money involved in the game, like all of these decisions are extremely important, right? Like ROI, like it directly impacts like how big the prize pool gets, like how the prize pool gets distributed, right? So like yeah, I mean like there's probably a lot of assumptions like with a normal MMO, you can get away with having the guilds just steamroll like regular players, right? That's fine. Because the worst that happens is like some players just have a less ideal sort of gameplay experience. But like if there's money involved, like yeah, I mean that just doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah. And Russell's asking, Ben, what's your goals in achieving within S3?
I think I went over that.
Okay, cool.
I think I went over that.
Maple's question.
Yeah, Joseph says the problem isn't the tax, it's the contribution. Yeah, I think we'll look at capping the contribution. Like definitely don't want to swing the other direction and have it just be um, you know, try to minimize the max you can have. But even that though, there's kind of like a trade off, right? Like the types of players. I mean, because here's the thing: like if you're playing a season and you're playing for free, like you're fundamentally like you kind of have to take what you get, right? It's like somebody else is paying you money for you to earn, right? Like you're already at profit, right? There's nothing that could make you net unprofitable, right? So like that's a very privileged set of players. Like everybody else is playing with risk. Like there's a very real chance that they can lose their money, right? So like it just like yeah, I mean it's just fundamentally unbalanced if you can kind of just like get away with that, right? So yeah, I think like with the fact that but you still have the guilds like that are kind of coordinating this, and like there's definitely like community contribution, like there's all sorts of things that we have to balance. But I mean that I think is one of the fundamental tensions with just the contribution. No. Yeah. They're not playing for free. They are playing for free. You are as a guild leader, you're taking a risk. So I think with the changes, like it advantages guild leaders who can optimize paying the least for the scholar while maximizing the returns, right? And on the scholar side, they're trying to if they're the best player, right? They're trying to get the biggest kind of percentage out of the guilds, right? So now you have actual tension, right? You have risk reward, you have a balance versus like something where it's just like a slam dunk win, right? Like if anything in Cambria, you will never get a slam dunk win, or we will actively work to patch that. What is your favorite obscure MMO system that you'd like to eventually implement in Cambria? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, like you guys have seen it. Like I really like how a lot of Albion is structured, especially with the economy. Like they just kind of have made it work. So yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of Albion that you'll be starting to see. I think what's his name? Maddie had a lot of great ideas from like this. What was that MMO? Do you remember? It was like a very 1D sort of low graphics thing with I can't remember the exact ideas though. Maybe
Oh,
maybe it's
the
Maddie's.
one that we were talking about in Founders Chat a little while ago.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, what was that called? Oh man, I'll think about it. If I think of it, I'll drop a link in chat for everyone to look at. But yeah, that game had some really cool, like unique systems. There's
Yeah.
yeah, there's a bunch of like gear MMOs out there that I think have really like interesting cool systems. There's this one called Dark Ages that has like a full-blown religion system where different
Holy
players
shit.
will give sermons each day, and like you get buffs based on players giving sermons, so it like incentivizes people to actually do it. Very cool. Lots of cool stuff to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the another system that's like the just stealth system in general. I think Ultima does a really good job with stealth. Just a lot of the ways you can kind of like play around with stealth in the game, especially given an MMO, right? Like stealth is easy in like a normal like single player game, but yeah, there's a lot of balance kind of to stealth. So we actually have stealth in the game. Like you can like I mean mods at least can go into stealth. We just have it integrated in the game. So yeah, definitely let us know if you have kind of ideas around kind of yeah how that works. Maybe it's tied to melee, maybe it's like a potion, maybe it's tied to gear. Yeah, definitely open to ideas. Holy shit, we got 273 people here.
Yeah, a lot, a lot. I think
Crazy.
on some exciting stuff, right? We have the public playtest tomorrow. Any leaks on that? Would it be longer than an hour possibly? Will
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. The main thing is like a stress test of the servers and kind of the you know just the tech. So if that goes smoothly, like we can probably keep it around longer, kind of let people get access to things. Definitely gonna jack up the XP rate extremely, so people can just basically run through the content. Also, like your previous playtesting accounts are still there, so if you already leveled up, you don't have to do it again. Yeah, just to uncover some more bugs. And yeah, like during the season, like we always like patch things as well during the season. So unless it's like majorly critical, like it's not gonna be too impactful.
Ruslan keeps asking about the Paymaster Vault mechanics this season. Have we even changed it at all from the
All on the
first
docs.
season?
All on the docs. No, it's the same as last season. I mean, it's
Yeah.
20% versus 25%. Oh, there's also a mechanic that we need to add to the docs where if you deposit charters later into Paymaster, you get a bonus on your split of the cash-ins to basically kind of incentivize people to come in kind of later. We were also looking at the pool-based model where it was like 50% of the cash-ins would be kind of reserved in a pool until the end, kind of to incentivize people to come in later. But yeah, we'll see how that goes and kind of just new accounts. Whoops, because Thomas didn't do it. It's fine. It started from 0 and like we just jack up the XP rate and go from there. You can see someone's artifacts. You can't see their artifacts. You can see how much value, silver value in their inventory. So basically, yeah, they're artifacts.
Yeah, it's a scouting sort of mechanic, like inspect sort of mechanic.
Yeah.
Did you fix the spawn of mobs in
Still talking about
T5? I think we did go over some of the mobs and the mob density, so that
we made
should
some
be better.
big changes.
Yeah.
The playtest, like the aggro range, clustering, a lot of them shouldn't be near the resources now, so you don't have to keep fighting with like annoyingly fighting with NPCs while you're mining. But yeah, we'll keep making tweaks, so definitely keep dropping the feedback there. Paymaster still rewards snipers. I mean that's kind of baked in the design, right? Like it's a continuous kind of, hey, how much value am I gonna get from putting in? The thing is, like with the fact that we had added back the tax on new charters, anybody sniping or coming in later, they're already losing 20% to existing Paymaster. So I think you can do the math there. Yes, 2.5% listing and 4% fee. The listing fee is waived if you have a T3 charter, I believe.
Yep.
And then Green Dragon, yeah, we removed the one shot. That was from Pit Fights.
Yeah, it's from Suvius. Yeah.
RNG one shot.
Yeah.
Definitely not a good thing. Yeah, I mean the other thing with the Paymasters is like the more people deposit, the less it's worth it, right? So you have to think of it this way: like Paymasters is never really unbalanced, like regardless of how we tweak it, because like let's say like there's more cash and taxes paid in now, right? Like Paymasters are just gonna come in earlier in more size, and that's just gonna increase the price pool. Like the fact that you are depositing a charter into the vault means you can't do anything with it, right? Like you're basically people are spending like a lot of money, right? Just burning charters for the price pool. That's going to increase the value of your silver, right? So like it all like nets out, right? Like guilds getting nerfed, like it eventually goes back into the price pool one way or the other in terms of silver. Yeah, but are they earning more if more people deposit? I mean, yeah, if the demand doesn't catch up to the supply, sure. But I think everybody knows what the demand and supply is. Like it's not like season 2 where like people didn't really know how it works. People know how it works now, so I don't know. I mean, there is a risk premium there. So like, I think coming in early, you're still risking quite a bit as a paymaster. Because again, you don't know how many people are coming in later, that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, like anything in Cambria, it's a risk reward trade off. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think yeah, a lot of big changes since season 2. A lot untested. So it's gonna be chaotic, which that's part of fun, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
It's the
That's what I
culture.
was talking to the guys about too. In like VC sessions, they're like, "Yo, what's going on? What's this? What's that?" Well, I'm like, "Guys, you lose the exploration side of the MMO if I just feed everything to you. So you have to go figure it out and explore and
Yeah.
make mistakes and learn from mistakes. That's the fun in MMOs, guys. And I think
The
one
the
thing,
the version ROI maxing versus Chad. I'll just play
yes,
and see how it goes.
yes, yes, yes. I think one thing too, right? I think what I'm super excited about is marks, and maybe like the playtests, like it wasn't available, right? Like marks weren't available, and players were finding T5 zones to be hard, which they should be hard anyways because they are endgame T5 zones. And I think just them not having access to marks and not feeling that power up made it feel like the PvE is much harder. So I'm quite excited for a mark and kind of want to see how players navigate through that. I think we dropped the docks, right? And I think based on the docks, you can equip up to 3, I
3.
believe. Yeah, 3. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be a big power boost, guys. Especially PvE, PvP.
There's gonna be no list. People are gonna figure out what the marks do as people get them in the rune dungeons. So
Yes.
good luck, Bria.
Good luck, Bria. Exploration, guys.
Yeah, the Mistbark spot. I thought the Mistbark like was in a separate Mistbark like tree area, like a magic tree region. We'll take another look at that one.
It is. It is.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fucking Shaz mob, dude. That caught me off guard. Oh my god.
All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback. We'll keep adjusting, and yeah, super excited to see how season 3 goes. I think it's gonna be quite a season.
Amazing. All right, guys. Yeah, if you guys have suggestions too, or anything, like drop it in suggestions channel, and we'll do our best to go through them as well. Snapshot.
What are we gonna give away?
Snapshot. I'm just kidding. Should we? I don't know, dude.
Oh, you can't fucking waffle on it like that, can
Snapshot.
you?
Wait, guys, it's over. It's over. You guys should leave.
Everyone leave. Ben left. You leave.
Yeah, guys, leave.
Yeah, boys.
Don't worry. There's no.
Bye-bye.
Trid's
See
leaving.
ya,
He's actually
Trid.
leaving.
Thank you guys. See you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Good luck in season 3.
Thank you, guys. See you guys. Oh, people are getting baited. What if I'm baiting you guys on the?
I think he might be.
I might be
think he
baiting,
might be.
guys. I don't know. I'm feeling a little weird today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in a weird mood.
It might be the bronchitis, bro.
It might be, dude. It might be. We need more FUD on the timeline, by the way.
Yeah.
It's too
No.
bullish.
No. No.
It's scary,
Well-
dude. It's like FUD is bullish, and bullish is FUD. Because I think
The
like
thing
people
that-
have expectations, and if we fail to meet their expectations, then it's gonna feel worse. It's like you're on a date and everything's going well, and then you're like, "So, what do you want to do?" And he or she is like, "Oh, I'm going home. See ya."
The thing about FUD with Cambria and what I've always appreciated is anytime it does come up, everyone in the community like bands together to either say why it's incorrect or like have at the very least have a good discussion around like what the FUD is. So
Yeah,
we're pretty FUD proof over here, I want to say.
yeah. FUD is healthy though. FUD means people care, and if people care, that's what we want. Alchemist, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. Look, I think the final answer is we're super sorry. You only had 2 days before the season started. Um, and that's something we're learning from. It's not an excuse for us to be slow about this, but please also understand we're quite a small team with a lot of different things going on, like a lot of cogs in the machine. But ultimately, we apologize for only giving you 2 days ahead
I think the other thing that's important to keep in mind too, like Ben was saying, is that these are questions that haven't really had to be answered by any gaming products before because there's not really any gaming products like Cambria outside of it, right? So a lot of this is experimentation and us trying to figure out how to balance everything in a way that it makes sense for the largest amount of people possible. So
Yeah,
understand we're not doing like when we make decisions and they're quicker, it's not to like try to catch you guys off guard or anything like that. It's we're reacting live to problems as they present themselves to us, and we try to make the best decisions we can to kind
yeah.
of work within that framework.
I think maybe to get some help on you guys' end, right? If you see something wrong in the docs, like let's discuss it in suggestions, right? State the problem and then propose a solution in a in a helpful manner so we can all understand. So that way, because ultimately as a founder holder, right? Especially you guys with yellow names, you guys help shape us, or you guys help us shape the game. And problems exist, but it's even better if we can band together and become problem solvers.
Yeah.
Precipiter is here. Kai is here.
I saw someone Jazzy asking about raffle tablet and no honor rewards. I've got all the data is there for that. I've passed it. We just got to get payments out at this point. So
Week
it took
8.
some
Week 8 creator rewards too, right,
acting.
Gio?
Week 8 creator rewards. Yeah, yeah. So like the favor and trinkets and stuff from that week all going to be put out for creator rewards. No worries there.
Yes. Do I need creator role? If you are looking for creator role, open a ticket and I will review it. Please help me out and drop your X links and previous Cambria related content in the ticket, so it becomes a faster process. I think we have about 9 minutes. If anyone wants to come up on stage, you're more than welcome to come up. Just request up, and we will invite you. Just be nice.
Meow.
Hello.
Hello, Logic.
Hello.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
How may we
What's
help
up?
you? What's up,
What a
guys?
lovely AMA. I had one question for
Yes.
Logic specifically.
Yes.
How much can I buy your feed pics for?
Oh.
Not for sale.
No, I think that was a great AMA. It answered all my questions.
Amazing.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys for taking the time and go over some questions. And yeah, I think it's good, man. Like just the fact that are still 236 people in here, like it says a lot about the game. Like we won the Best On Chain Game Awards 2025 for a reason, guys. Like I think you should be really proud of what you have already achieved and what you will achieve.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
I think you guys just should keep going as what you guys are doing right now, and we will get multiple awards next year.
Horses don't stop.
Amazing. Edsy, any questions?
Yes,
We'll
yes, I
move
do
to
have
you.
a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what the price of energy orbs and the charter is in Ron, or would it be on Ronin but in ETH still?
You would have to do the conversion. You can do a quick Google search. ETH to Ron
Yeah.
conversion.
Well, that was what the question was. Is the ETHs went up, Rons went down. So is it from when the
Yeah,
when the,
we will have to adjust it pro rata. But yeah, it's more or less a conversion that needs to be adjusted because both are not stable coins. One
Yeah.
can go up, one can go down. They can stay the same, so it'll kind of have to be adjusted.
Okay, so likely before, like just before launch. No,
Not quite
roughly the
sure.
price.
Not quite sure, but it will be adjusted for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contracts for season 3 aren't even deployed yet, so prices aren't set. They will be set right before launch, and we do plan to update them around daily if it moves enough. So yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Amazing. Jazzy. Jazzy, anything on your end?
What's up? What's up, guys? I listened to the whole MA and it's really good. One thing that Alchemist is said about the same thing, but it is what it is, as Ben's explained and you explained. It is what it is. But I have to work with it. But yeah, overall, super excited for season 3.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, guys,
Not for
I think ultimately we just thank you guys for your understanding and
Understanding, сука, блядь.
that's it.
Understanding.
Yeah, thank you for your understanding.
I spent a fucking month recruiting strong
Well,
players.
you are an amazing leader, and I
Fucking
believe
months.
you can
Fucking
adjust.
months, Logic, fucking months. And 2 days before season, you drop a new tax system. Good job. Good fucking job, guys.
Okay,
I have a feeling Alchemist is upset.
yeah, he's upset. So we'll move forward.
Fuck you, Etsy.
Yeah, mate. Hey, mate.
You
Thanks,
can
also.
also guild too.
You
Tell
know
you
what's
who
gonna.
to
Hey,
play.
mate.
Wait,
What's gonna happen? These guild changes,
look.
right? This is gonna make it hard
You
for
have
everyone.
20
So in the
person-
end, there's gonna be
Wait,
nobody on
guys,
top.
guys,
Nobody on
Sorry
top.
about it.
guys,
about it.
guys, as Gio would say, Gio, can you say your
Sell down.
yes? Thank you. Guys.
Settle down.
Thank you, Gio. Thank you, Gio.
Etsy, you have 20% tax guild for your guild.
Wait,
How you gonna
Alchemist,
play?
Alchemist, we'll discuss later. Let's go towards the other people
Fuck you.
with questions. Sweet Taho, do you have a question or pragmatically pull? Do you guys have a question?
I have 2 quick questions, if I can.
Yes, absolutely.
First one is, have you guys discussed public API? Something like get players inventory, get silver.
Ooh, are you a dev looking to build
I
community
am.
tooling?
I am.
Amazing. Did you know Accipiter is your guy to talk to? He's here and you guys should definitely talk. And I actually have seen Pragmatically Pull before. He's from the Axie community. So I would say definitely DM Accipiter and Ben Pragmatically Pull. I think it would be amazing to get community tooling made.
We'll do that. Second question, I saw a contract deployed to Ronin called like Trading or Trading Post or Cambria Trading, something like that. Any leaks on what that will be?
I can't speak on that.
Yeah, that's likely the on-chain trading contract. So similar functionality to what you have in Dual Arena, where you can swap in-game ETH for AT over escrow. We're enabling that in a Gold Rush, so you can swap silver for RON or ETH.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Amazing. Of course.
Aki,
Uh,
I had a question for you.
And welcome to Cambria, Bull. I've known of your name in Axie for a long time. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
On
I
the
had a
data
question
side of
for you,
things,
Aki.
I don't know if you have found it yet. Do we have the economy dashboard? We should have something similar for Gold Rush as well. That kind of does the basic item supply view. Can do some searches by player in there too a little bit.
that's
Not
sweet.
intended for the full Gold Rush experience though. That was more for just the cosmetics. And if you are interested in building something, I have ways to get you access to data that we can definitely talk about. So yeah, reach out.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll DM you. Thanks, man.
Sweet.
Aki, I had a guy from Nobody Guild that was asking, is there an API for Matilda? I think they wanted to build some sort of tooling to do with
No.
the prices in the shop.
We might do some X402 there though at one point. We'll look into it in future seasons.
Holy
Big.
technology.
Amazing.
That's my question. Are you trying to build a Matilda bot to snipe stuff?
Kai, don't even bring
Yo,
it up.
Kai, don't
Like,
bring
give
it
me
up,
an
bro,
idea.
please.
No, don't
He
say
tries
that,
it every
Kai.
season. You
Oh
fucking
my
hate
God.
the
Come on.
server. If any
That's-
of you run a Matilda bot this season, I will permanently ban you. No warning.
That's your number one bot.
Amazing.
What the
So
helly?
we've gone through everyone here on stage. Is there any last quick ones before we do end it?
It's me.
Yes.
Блядь. Why did you publish incorrect season 3 documents on November?
Oh my god.
Why? Why? No, tell me why. I don't fucking understand. Tell me, please tell me why.
I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
We are doing our best, and thank you for your understanding.
I don't understand it, bro.
Okay, you're just
You're fucking sick, guys.
I want to troll you
You're
so
really
bad.
fucking sick.
I want to troll you so bad, but I know I shouldn't. So
I see guild events. PvP 20 vs 20. Good job,
Okay.
guys. Good guild events.
let's leave it to questions. Alchemist, if there's no other
Somehow.
questions.
No.
Okay.
Just my question. Tell me why 2 days before season I ignore new info about.
You're asking a multi-layered philosophical question here, right? We're a small team and we're adapting live to what we're seeing and testing, and things change. You got to be fluid.
Yes. And Alchemist, no disrespect at all. I just had to move you to the audience. I want to get some time for the others that want to ask questions.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Asati.
Thank you for your work. I really appreciate it. It will be a really great season. Thank you for all. But I have only one small question. What the fuck with the guild taxes?
Okay, dude.
Why did you increase it like yesterday?
No
Why?
way.
That's an alchemist.
Smoke. We'll do one last one, which is smoke, and then we do have to go. We have a meeting to attend to. So smoke.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
I have a question on the new dungeons. So, Vox, it says they scale depending on which tier region you're in. Since there's gonna be like forced PvP if somebody else comes in, does it how does it work? Can you get a red name if you PvP? And does the tier matter for PvP? That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know the most accurate answer. Maybe someone else from the team can take a stab.
What was the question?
He's
PvP?
asking about the scaling of ruined dungeons based on zones and the PvP mechanics within it. Or is that something we want them to figure out? So that could also be the
That's
answer
probably a
there.
Yakub question here, but he isn't here to answer that.
Yeah.
Maybe figure it out for now, unless we release it in docs.
Beautiful.
Hey Kai, I got a question real quick on the ruined dungeons. Is 1 hour enough to test it?
I have no idea. What do you think?
I don't know. I think that we might need a little bit more than that. I don't mean to fully test it. I mean just to test. that
Maybe
it's not gonna break.
the question or the answer is we are in a fantasy world filled with danger, and you, as the explorer, must explore the new Cambria and push back the darkness within the region. There you go.
Yeah, it's most likely going to get extended, I think, if there's issues or needs to be more things tested. But
Yeah.
you could just go straight to the ruined dungeons and try them out. The XP rate's going to be much higher, so you'll get whatever it is. We'll probably give out items as well to everybody, like
Yeah.
cash and a bunch of other stuff as well. So you just get gear straight off the bat, as long as
Could
you're
put
online.
you could put Dev Console on for set level 99 again, though, couldn't you?
We could, but the XP rate's just going to be so high, you're just going to get maxed anyway.
Oh, okay. It's like literally ridiculous. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna get 99 here in copper, or you watch.
Okay, I think that's it, guys. Golden requested, but I don't see him. And yeah, guys, we do have to go. We do have a meeting to kind of to go over some things. But otherwise, guys, thank you guys so much for all your questions, all your understanding, all your love, passion, and all that for us here in Cambria.
Sweet.
Thank you, everyone. We love you. Goodbye.
Alchemist, there's always a place for you at Nobody if you don't want to run your guild anymore.
That's diabolical. Okay, see you guys. Peace.
Goodbye, Brianna.